sending her the invite to join us on the live. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being with us this tonight. It's 7 p.m. already. I hope everybody's having a great time. So today we'll get to know Gina a little bit more. As she's introduced us to this event that we've been doing for now 3 or 4 years. It's gonna be what, your 5th years? I think I got the number wrong.
Yeah, so I started this event in 2021. So that was like my first official brunch event.
Mhm.
22 was the second. And I think 2023 was when we had you on the
Yeah.
panel for that year. And then 2024 was last year. And then now we're at year 5.
Oh my God, time fly. So, Gina, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
So my name is Jina Etienne. I'm a social worker by trade. I've been in the social work field for about 7 years now. I've worked with various populations. I worked with the elderly population for about 4 years. Switched over to working with like the youth, working in a high school setting on like social work contracts. Following after that contract ended, ventured off to doing a psych contract, hospital. Felt like that was like my niche, even though I like working with like the youth and high school
Mhm.
population. Right now, I'm currently in a hospital setting, and it might be where I want to stay long term in my career. I'm an author. My first book is titled Haitian Girls. So that's my second book. I'm like mixing. So my first, The Bougie Social Work Girl, that book I wrote about my social work experience. The social work field, coming in as a newly professional, I wanted to put to pen my experience with being in the social work field. Following after that, I wanted to do something that was uplifting for the Haitian community
Mhm.
where I was at the time of my life. So I was going through things that I wanted to put to pen, talk about my experiences, and I know experiences that I've that are shared experience with other Haitian women in the community. So I wanted to write a book that's uplifting to like Haitian women, and so that's where the Haitian Girls Brunch concept came about, which is a book created into an event. So that's a little bit about me.
All right. Thanks so much for sharing. So you mentioned where the concept came from, Haitian Girl Brunch. But what can tell you us like what can you tell us more about this? Like where you got that, the inspiration from, the idea of the name. It's so original, Haitian Girl Brunch. And yeah, and why did you pick that name?
So I'm someone, I love brunch. I love the idea of, sitting down, talking to friends, chatting. I've been to so many women empowerment events, and I know the impact that it has. And I wanted to create a space where I can share this experience on something of my own. I feel like this is like a passion project of mine. I want to be able to share what impact I've had going through various brunches over the years. I've been through so many like women empowerment brunches, and they have lasting effects, especially if someone is really stuck
Yeah.
and really don't know where they're going in life. Um, I've been at a place in my life where I didn't have a direction in terms of like my entrepreneurship. I didn't know what direction to go, so I felt like
Mhm.
the women empowerment events were impactful for me. So the concept of the brunch came from me honestly writing this book, and me wanting to tell my readers that we need to start organizing, we need to start community building, we need to start having conversations within the culture that are about issues that we face,
Mhm.
whether it be issues relating to domestic violence, such as your brand
Yeah.
and what you run. Uh, so I felt like there's a lot of things that we need to talk about, intergenerational trauma, things that are carried on from past generations, and that
Mhm.
through our generation, and that is continuing beyond. It's like a cycle that I felt like that needs to be
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
So I'm like experiencing certain things, and I'm like, we need to talk about these things. Um, and so I wrote a book, and as I'm writing the book, I couldn't figure out like, what exactly am I gonna title the book? Because when I wrote my other book, I called it The Bougie Social Work Girl. Like, I'm a writer and I'm really creative,
Okay.
and I like steps that grabs people's attention.
Mhm.
So I need an awesome uh, title for the book, and I couldn't like really think what is the title that I'm gonna put that really grabs readers and stuff. So I like to do various things to gain my creative juices. I happened to be watching TV. I was watching Love and Hip Hop. Um, and as I was watching Love and Hip Hop, Miami to be exact, there was an episode where they were talking about women empowerment events and stuff like that. And they spoke within that episode, spoke about planning something called Brown Girls Brunch. And so
Okay.
for Haitian women, and then the light bulb just flashed that this is what I'm gonna call my book and
Okay.
stuff. So that's the title and the concept came through. So it's like the Haitian Girls Brunch concept is a concept where we could sit down, have a safe space where we can talk about all of these issues, um, navigate things that I talk about in the book, and also talk about
Mhm.
our professions, uh, talk about things that are uplifting, talk about the diverse um, career professions that we have
Mhm.
and whatnot. So that's where
The
all,
idea came from. So you actually wrote the book before you started the actual brunches.
yeah, so the actual brunch, the funny thing is with the brunch, I never intended to actually plan brunches. It was just me book and telling people that
Mhm.
you guys need to do, you guys need to start organizing, you guys need to come together and do women empowerment events, go to churches,
Yeah.
look at these with elder folks and stuff like that, and start having these conversations. I never intended to have a brunch. Um, it wasn't until one of my best friends, his sister is a chef. I've been partnering with her for the past years.
Mhm.
1804 Fetty. She was on a caterer for the event that you attended and was on the panel. So it wasn't until she did a brunch during the pandemic.
Mhm.
It wasn't until she was doing a brunch and I thought the idea came to me that we should partner up and we should do something. And so that's how the brunch idea came
So,
about.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like the whole story. It's very unique. Um, so what challenges have you been encountering, from the idea, the concept, and putting everything together and get to the realization of the actual, Haitian Girl Brunch?
When you say challenges, do you mean in planning the? Are you talking about like the concept or overall
Overall,
event?
anything that you don't mind sharing, from putting it together, like getting people together, talking about your ideas, like, because a lot of time, like, when we have the ideas, that's why, like, surround yourself with the right person is kind of important. It's kind of, people will tend, some people, not everybody, might discourage you. These kind of little details that happen in the background that everybody doesn't necessarily have to be aware and not seeing. So any challenges that you might have encountered.
For me, I feel like there's many challenges that comes to mind when planning these events is like people not believing in what you have planned, where you're going, the plans that you have for yourself, idea wise. Definitely having a good support system was beneficial to me. If I had the wrong people in my corner, for the past 5 years, I would say I've had a strong support system when it came to friends. Every time
Mhm.
I've had a negative outlook on a situation, they would always be there, uplifting me and cheering me, telling me I'm doing a great job. So I would say inner challenge would be a negative mindset,
Mhm.
something that I have overcome. Um, Financial uh, burdens, having to like finance,
Yeah.
the event years, paying out of pocket for things.
Mhm.
People not understanding like the expense part. They're like, what are they paying? What are they
They're
paying
paying
for?
for.
What is this? No matter how many times you explain it and you put things together, you elaborate.
It doesn't click.
Don't it's not registering for them like the expenses, having to pay for the
You know,
venues, having to pay for kids, having to pay for a DJ,
the
having
food. Yeah, like, why can't it be free?
yeah, um, especially with like the cost of catering. The cost of catering is a lot. Um, the event spaces are a lot of money or
Yeah.
costly. So I feel like that is like a really challenge. You got to find the right space to kind of accommodate the type of experience that you're looking for. It can't be any
Mhm.
down type of thing,
Yeah.
especially if you've been doing something for so long. It's like
It's like looking to upgrade.
there's a different type of expectation.
Yeah.
Gotta over deliver from past
Yeah.
brunches and stuff like that. The expectations are they exceed, and a lot is asked of you, and you try your best to deliver a great experience for everyone. So I would say definitely financial challenges.
Mhm.
Public speaking, it's not my forte. That's something that I've overcame over the years.
Thanks so much for sharing. Next question. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment to date?
My biggest accomplishment. I would say that when I first wrote the book, I never thought that it would be an event. It
Mhm.
wasn't my intention to do to actually have curated an event. That wasn't the
Yeah.
plan. I'm just writing the book to just write
Yeah.
the book. So I would say that that would be a great accomplishment to have a brand,
Yeah.
to a baby that you've seen, grow into something big, grow into something that I would say,
That's becoming bigger than yourself.
yeah, it's like unexplainable. It's like this is not what I intended, and it's like having people, tell me that it's an impactful event. It's really it has a lasting effect on
And they're
people.
looking forward to it every year.
Look forward to it. They talk about it, they give me compliments and feedbacks. Hearing people's feedbacks, I feel like is a great accomplishment. It lets me know that I'm doing something in a community. I'm really fulfilling a need, you would say.
And talking about compliment, what's the biggest compliment you think you ever received so far?
I hear a lot of compliments, especially after the event. It's like after I have the event, it's like each time I have it, it's like I'm on cloud nine. Even though when I feel like I didn't, you know, I feel in my head I didn't deliver. And it's like hearing people say that, wow, Gina, like you got to keep continuing. You can't stop from here. Hearing people say it's up from now is the term that people would say that I have a lot of, Haitian excellence in the room, a lot of Haitian professionals, uh, very moving
Mhm.
and empowering space to be in, to be surrounded by a bunch of professionals, especially for like the youth, looking and having something to mirror, having somebody to represent them,
Mhm.
letting them, you have the opportunity to be a judge. There's a Haitian judge. There's
Yeah.
a Haitian nurse practitioner. There's a Haitian psychiatric nurse, a Haitian social worker, a Haitian psychologist, a Haitian person that's in media, that's in radio, Haitian engineers. There's a lot of Haitian women going into tech, a lot of people who are business minded and business centered. So that's the kind of experience, which is different. People don't understand when they hear
Mhm.
Haitian Girls. It's just they're just coming to eat brunch. It's a completely multi-faceted type
Yeah.
of experience.
Mhm. And what is something that you feel people tend to misunderstand about Haitian Girl Brunch?
The misunderstanding, I would say, has to deal with what they're getting out of the brunch.
Mm. You mean the expectation or?
Uh, yeah, I would say it's on the in terms of the lines of expectations, kind of along the lines of what I was like saying previously. Like people are like saying, "What is this? Like, what are they getting out of it?" Um, type of situation.
It's like you're
Um,
still struggling to understand the purpose of the brunch kind of thing.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like what are they getting out of it? What is the benefit? What are they gaining being at my event? I think is a misunderstanding. And I wouldn't say it's a misunderstanding because it's like if you're a person, you're looking for inspiration, you're looking
Mm-hmm.
for empowerment, you're looking to be connected to people, you're looking to network, you're looking to build your brand, you're looking to find you're new to the community, you're looking to find community within the area that you're living in. Uh, this is a place that would fulfill those types of purposes. So when I say that, you know, people often misunderstood like what the brunch is about. It's not for everybody. So the people who would misunderstood might not feel like it's a need for them, and
It's
it's okay.
okay.
Yeah. So that's where I would say that the misunderstanding lies. It might be within the people who feel that they don't need a community, who feel like, okay, I have community, I have a support system. Like why I
Mm-hmm.
don't
I don't need
need
this.
and Yeah.
and they can't relate to what's happening.
Or
Um,
or
mm-hmm.
back to that, I might feel another misconception that just came to mind is the fact that there's a negative connotation when it
Mm,
comes to women in events. A lot of conversations I see on social media where it said it would say that these women empowerment events, sisterhood, is kind of a setting where mean girls get together. So I
yeah.
think that's a
And
negative.
and this one I can also relate. It's not always about women taking over the world. Sometimes it's about us getting our healing,
Mhm.
getting our strength. Like, it's but I can relate to this connotation where people tend to see the empowering movement more on the negative side than what it's actually produced for us women.
Yeah, being negative in a sense where if somebody had a negative, I'm not gonna lie, I've had negative experiences too, going to women
Hmm.
empowerment, but it's not gonna stop me. That's why you have to like really research. Like
Yeah.
if you're something, you gotta ask. I've had people literally ask me questions. People call me on the phone and tell me, why do I need to be on your panel, and drill me questions, and I tell them my brand story and stuff, and it's compelling for them, so they're sold on something. They know that it's not a game. It's
Yeah.
not a place where into an environment where they're gonna feel like they don't belong. Um,
Hmm.
I've been in spaces like that, so I can understand for people
And
who have.
also because I feel like this movement, they kind of like new to the Haitian community. So it's kind of like harder to explain some perspective and vision to our community because we're so not used to it, and also try to like not divert and get lost into everything that's happening, and stand your ground and kind of like present yourself and your vision the way you want it to be, because it's not like somebody else is doing something that your vision is aligned to that other thing going on. So, and Gina, where do you see Haitian Girl Brunch in a couple of years?
Where do I see Haitian Girls Brunch? Every time I have an event, and so I think it was the year before you attended. So many people were coming up to me and telling me that I need to take this internationally, take it out of the state, and it's
Yeah,
like it's
I'm right there with
it's
you, girl.
it's a heavy load carrying this. I don't think I have that capacity to do that at the moment. I have to like finish building this up in order to think about branching out to like various locations. It's something that I'm researching, and there's people that I would speak to. Like I have friends that live in different uh, states. I have a friend that lives in Philly, and she was like telling me that this is something that's needed in Philly. So if I do branch out, I would branch out in the parts where there isn't a Haitian community, where there is Haitian people living there, but there's no sense of community. So I would
Mm, okay.
start first before I go to no shade. Places like
Oh
place,
my gosh, shade taken.
but places like where there's a Haitian community, where
But I kind of
there's a,
understand the concept where you're coming from, though. I kind of get it. It's more reaching out to people where you feel like they don't have that
outlet.
and bring that to them.
I don't feel like there's a need for me to go to. I can do an event and I can expand in certain states that are heavily predominantly Haitian communities, such like Florida, but I don't feel like that would be a top
You'll be led
priority.
to friends. Yeah, I kind of understand where I'm coming from, but what I want you to understand is your vision is your vision. It's not because somebody else is doing something that tend to be similar that it's going to be you. Like Gina is Gina,
Right,
and
right.
whatever God gave you, He gave it to you. So it can be, doesn't matter. There's a million of other branching happening, but your branches is your branches, and
Yeah.
that doesn't. People might choose your event over a thousand of others happening. So I just need you to remember that.
Yes. Thank you for that. I completely understand that. Yeah, but in prioritizing, I feel like when I look at Philly and there's a presence of a Haitian community there, but
Mhm.
it's when I
They
talk
don't
to my
have the
friend, she
support.
tells me there's nothing to do there. So I feel like doing an event in places like Philly or like even like DC, where there's like
Mhm.
a lot of girls in DC, a lot of Haitian professionals there and whatnot. Not only like places like that, I'm
Let's
seeing
bring
places
Haitian Girl Brunch to them.
Texas. Like I've gotten feedback from people in Texas, and they're like telling me when am I gonna come to an event here and whatnot, and other spaces too. I'm actually thinking about. I thought about so when I first started this, before I got into doing actually events, I wanted to do something in Oka. So
Okay.
yeah,
I like
so that's where I.
all your ideas. Just keep me posted. I'm always down for everything. So yeah. Next question. If you could go, I like to ask that question to everybody. Because like growing up, it was a different setting, different mindsets, and our parents, the way they sheltered us, and it's really different from nowadays. So if you could go back in time and talk to your 18 years old self, what advice would you give her?
My 18-year-old self. Uh, hmm. Thinking back to my 18-year-old self, uh, when it was a time and place when I didn't have things figured out. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I started at a community college. I didn't have life figured out. I was kind of still at the point where I was finding myself, and this is why I do what I do and stuff like that because
Hmm.
and this question I love this question because it's like there's a lot of 18-year-old girls who were once you know where I was at or who was still juggling with finding an identity and knowing if they have a purpose or whatnot because I would tell myself looking back and being in my 30s that you're going somewhere, your life is purposeful. I would tell my 18-year-old self, I would tell them that you'll have a vision, your vision will be clear,
Hmm.
your path right, everything will fall in place. There's like a Bible scripture that I live by, and you know friends that are going through a hard time, I like to share the Bible scripture with them. Ecclesiastics 3, verse 13, he will make everything beautiful in his time. So that's what I like to share with people, letting them know that everything will come together, the plans that God has for you
Hmm.
and things. So that's what I would tell my 18-year-old self, and I would tell any 18-year-old who's still trying to figure out life. Not even an 18-year-old. There's people my age who are still
Yeah.
trying to figure out life, still feels enough, but not still feels stuck in a career or something, in a relationship,
Yeah.
many
Hmm.
things.
What advice would you give to anyone who dream to become an entrepreneur?
Advice would I give? Don't become no. Um, an advice I would give. It's probably an overused advice and it's cliche.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
Out support. Um, don't pay attention to the awareness when it comes to marketing your brand. Even if you don't feel like it's at a point where people see what you're doing, don't pay attention to the small stages, the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, because it's not a it's an ugly sight.
Yeah.
Um, you will have many hiccups. You're not always gonna feel on top of the moon always when you're starting small. Even when you're, past a certain point, like you could be celebrating 10 years of your business and whatnot. There will be hiccups, there will be downfalls. You just got to know how to navigate those difficulties, and be hands on with your business. Not worry about who's not supporting you, um, and the menial things, I would say.
Uh, Thank you so much for answering these questions. And where can people reach out to you after this live if they have any question about Haitian Girl Brunch, or where can they get the tickets from? And, you know, how, how can they stay in touch with Gina?
So they can follow me at Haitian Girls Brunch on IG. You could also email me at Haitian Girls Brunch at gmail.com. I'm still working on other modes of contact, but those are the best approaches if anybody is trying to reach out to me regarding the event. It could be the event partnership. If you're looking for sponsorship, you could reach out to me and let me know how we could partner, how we could bring awareness, to the Haitian Girl Experience movement and make this event impactful. It's really not for me. It's a way of me giving back to my 18-year-old self, to a young girl, to my little cousin that needs to see representation.
Mm,
They need to see we're not just going into nursing careers.
positivity.
Yeah, there's more avenue for you out here. The link is in the bio. Just click on the link on my bio. You'll see the link for the tickets. Uh, it's more than just brunch and food. It's like, as I said, a multi-layered experience.
Multi-layered. I like that. Well, that's all the question I had for you today, Gina. So I don't know if you had one last word, something like, we forget to mention and you want to share.
I also,
You know,
I
to
also
you
wanted
so.
I also wanted to plug you in. Beyond the view,
Thank you so much.
if anybody would like resources on domestic violence or anything, you're looking for a support group, definitely reach out to you. I don't know if you wanted to plug in
Oh,
your outlets.
well, we can be found online, Beyond the Abuse, www.beyondtheabuse.org, obviously on IG at Beyond the Abuse, and myself at J underscore MIA 2025. So if you have any question, comment, you're looking for support, or just, you want to share your stories, sometimes we like to kind of publish these as well, just to show our survivors, people going through, that there's actually hope.
Mhm.
You don't have to stay in this situation. I'm a survivor myself, so and thank you, Gina, for sharing your platform with me. That was
No,
your day, but I really appreciate that.
there's a lot that needs to be done in the Haitian community when it comes to domestic violence. It's needed. I was telling somebody about your brand, and it has to it has to stay. There has to be
Oh,
more involvement, uh, more things to come for your brand.
oh my gosh, you're making me so emotional right now. Like this is really touching my heart because I'm in the point where I'm going through so many different changes, sorry, in my life, and I had so many backlash from doing this. So I really was kind of like considering not doing it anymore. So thank you.
And
Yeah, that's much needed.
about the backlash, you're fulfilling a need that's not being fulfilled in our community. Because I'm sure there are domestic violence centers within our community, but our people, they're not gonna go to a safe center where it's not
They're not even gonna talk about it to
color,
begin with.
huh? It's
They're not
not. It's
even gonna talk about it to begin with. Nobody wants to talk about this.
so it's the work is needed, and promotion is needed, making referrals, letting them know that it's, even though it's a taboo situation in our community, and that's something that we could talk about at our brunch, and we could talk about forever about about this issue. Um, but it's definitely needed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate these words. It really means a lot to me.
Oh, thank you for having.
All right. So I want to thank everybody who came in. So we waiting for you guys, everybody, on March 23rd at 1 p.m. And I think you're getting the location, the exact location after you purchase the ticket, right? If I'm correct.
I post I posted the location, so
Oh, you actually
it's gonna be.
did? I haven't seen it.
I posted the location. So it's gonna be at La Fleur Event Space, and it's in Franklin Square.
Okay.
Uh, Hempstead Turnpike, I believe, is the address. Um,
Okay. And also to purchase the ticket. Like, I don't know if you mentioned already. Where can we get the tickets?
on Eventbrite in the
Oh,
link.
awesome. Thank you so much, Gina. I can't wait for this date. I'm very excited, and I can't wait to meet everybody and interact with everybody.
Thank you.
So, thanks once again for joining me tonight, and hopefully we will get to do other lives about different other topic. But as for today, that's all. So I wish everybody a great night, and I can't wait to see you guys again for another episode of Conversation with Joe. All right. Have a great night, everybody.